Thank you. We're going to end the way we began by saluting the four directions, giving thanks to our ancestors, the ancestors of this land, again, for allowing us to be here and share our prayers with you all. Again, blessings on this project, blessing on all those who are going to be working on the project, leading the project, and most especially for those who will be living in here. Thank you to all the community organizers that made this happen. It's a blessing to have so much support for this community because it really needs it. Él es Dios. Thank you.
Good afternoon y buenas tardes a todos. Good afternoon, everybody. For the folks that are still standing in the back, if you can come forward, there's a few seats available for us today. We're really excited to get the show started, so thank you all for being here today with us on this very special celebration. My name is Juan Diego Castro. I'm the National Partnerships Director here at MEDA. And before we get our program started, we just want to acknowledge that this site is located on the unceded ancestral homeland of the Ramaytush Ohlone peoples, the original land stewards of the San Francisco Peninsula. The Ramaytush Ohlone community is an important and active community that contributes to the richness of the SF Bay Area. Thank you. And to start our program, I'd like to invite up our CEO, a visionary leader who's been leading MEDA for over 25 years and dedicating the latter part of his life to ensuring that there's opportunity and prosperity for community members across the Mission District. With that being said, we'd like to introduce Luis Granados, our Chief Executive Officer.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the Mission. 5 years ago, we celebrated the grand opening of Casa Adelante, 1296 Shotwell, which is sitting right behind you, a 94-unit, 100% affordable housing development for seniors. The pandemic kept us from holding a proper celebration at that time, but we knew the lives were being protected, in part because many of our senior neighbors finally had access to stable housing. Some of those residents are here with us today or watching from their windows in the comfort of their brand new homes. Thanks for their applause. Today, we gather next door to mark the groundbreaking of Casa Adelante 1515 South Van Ness, a 100% affordable housing development that will bring 168 permanently affordable homes for low-income families and individuals. 168 units, folks. This development builds on MEDA's place-based strategy, pairing stable, affordable homes with access to early education, good jobs, and support for small businesses so that Mission families not only stay rooted, but have the tools to thrive for generations. This site will also be home to a new early childhood education center for mission families operated by Wu Yi's Children's Services, as well as a community-serving nonprofit space run by the Nuevo Sol Day Labor and Domestic Workers Center. With this, we will be housing about 12 of our community partners in our various buildings. This is a major win for our workers who will not have a dedicated place to access resources and training that support not only their work, but their safety and their well-being. We are very proud to continue this work alongside our partners in the public, private, and nonprofit sectors. Thank you to the Office of Speaker Pelosi for sending a representative today. You've been a long fighter for our beloved communities, and your presence locally and nationally means so much to all of us. We know that she's fighting us with all this craziness going on in Washington, D.C. To Mayor Lurie, your commitment to advancing affordable housing and keeping mission families housed is deeply valued. We are ready to support you in implementing a vision for San Francisco that need housing the most. So thank you for being here. And we want to thank our funders, the San Francisco Mayor's Office and Community Development, always a great partner, the California Department of Housing and Community Development, JP Morgan Chase, one of our key partners, Raymond James, Housing Trust of Silicon Valley. Thank you for believing in community-led, place-based development and for investing in long-term solutions that reflect the needs and values of our neighborhood. Thank you. And we are especially thankful to our community. The site represents more than a housing project. It is the result of decades of grassroots organizing and advocacy. We know who's fought for this and other sites. Community members fought to ensure this land will serve the public good. Thanks to their vision and persistence, today's groundbreaking is a victory for all. With this project, the beautiful thing is that there's only winners and no losers. Only winners. And I want to thank the Meta team especially. I want to start by thanking our board members. I see a couple of them here. Rich, Whitney, can you raise your hand? Ed, thank you for being here. We have the best board of any nonprofit, not only in the Mission, but in San Francisco. So just want to FYI. I also want to recognize Meda's community real estate team, led for the past decade by Caroline Fang, who's bold. Yeah, Caroline, come up. Do you want to read this about you? I'm just kidding. Caroline's bold mission-driven leadership has helped to protect homes, preserve culture, and strengthen the community here in the Mission. As I have said before when I introduced Caroline, she is the most dynamic, affordable housing developer in the Bay Area, second to none. So thank you, Caroline. So Jose, come up, please. So we're making a transition in the leadership in the real estate team, with Jose Garcia, who will be succeeding Caroline to lead Meda's community real estate team. So thank you, Jose. All right, so great people. We are so proud of the work that Caroline has done and really look forward to what Jose can accomplish. So thank you both. So today is a big celebration for us, but it's also a reminder that there's more work ahead, and together we must continue to build more affordable housing. Let me say it again. We must build more affordable housing in this neighborhood. In the last 15 minutes, I learned that the site next door is available. Just FYI. We want to preserve existing buildings to keep families in place. We want to keep them in their homes. We must secure space for nonprofits that have served our community for decades. And we must create commercial spaces for community and family serving small businesses. It is all about local serving. Again, thank you for being here today to help us break ground on the next chapter in the mission. Thank you very, very much. And I forgot. Now, I would like to please join me in welcoming my good friend, Malcolm Young. He's Executive Director of Chinatown Community Development Center, our co-developer in this effort. They were also the co-developer on 1296 Shotwell. This marks our third development together, and we are deeply grateful for the partnership, and I'm deeply grateful for the friendship. Thank you, man.
All right, everybody. First off, I just want to start by thanking you, Luis, for those very, very kind words. As Luis laid out earlier, this groundbreaking marks the culmination of decades of a vision, organizing, and love for a site, for this community, and for a community that refused to give up on itself. And I think we really need to kind of respect and appreciate that. If it weren't for Meta's unwavering commitment to the mission, we wouldn't be standing here. Long before the city stepped in, Meta and the community were already fighting to make sure that this site served the people who actually live here, and now we're on the verge of breaking ground and making that a reality. I also just want to acknowledge and say, you know, Luis, I'm incredibly proud that Meta has chosen to joint venture with Chinatown CDC for the third time on this project. And I promise you, on our next joint venture together, we will make our sign smaller than yours. I forgot to send Julia the memo this time. My bad. Our organizations may serve different neighborhoods, but what unites us is a deep belief that community-led development isn't just possible, it's essential. And I really, truly believe that. And I also just wanted to say to Supervisor Fielder, these projects, these last three projects, I think have really built an enduring relationship between not only Chinatown CDC and Meta, but I think between Chinatown and the mission. And I think these kinds of relationships across the city only makes our community stronger. So thank you for facilitating that. And thank you again, Luis, for that opportunity. I want to thank the mayor and the mayor's office for acquiring this site in 2019. They provided essential funding to move it forward. And 6 years to get to groundbreaking may sound like a long time, but let's not forget there was a little thing called a global pandemic that happened across the world. So it's not so bad that we're here. I'm glad we're here. And now with Mayor Lurie's leadership, I'm confident that we're going to keep this momentum going. We're supposed to clap. We're also really grateful to the California Department of Housing and Community Development, which created a program that supported community-rooted projects like this one. That program awarded us with early funding, which then unlocked the door to bond allocation and actually our tax credit award, which ultimately made this project go forward. So thank you to Gustavo, to Tamika, and the entire HCD team for standing with us. So thank you, Tamika. To our financing partners at JP Morgan Chase. And James knows I'm going to rib him a little bit, but I really appreciate our relationship with JP Morgan Chase. We've done a bunch of deals with them, and through those deals, we've built a lot of trust and commitment to each other, and that's why I can say fully that I'm also appreciative of the occasional pop quiz that JP Morgan Chase will come to us with, because on, and I quote, on October 2nd, 2024 at exactly 3 p.m., we thought we were walking into a celebration closing meeting with them, and this is Luis and I, and we both found out that it was a conversation about organizational risk. And that was a really fun way to spend the afternoon, so thank you very much. To Raymond James, our tax credit investor, Kevin, thank you for coming in on a project once again. The fact that you showed up for this project after the previous project, and you know what I'm talking about, that probably makes you either a visionary or, frankly, a glutton for punishment. So we're also excited to be partnering with Housing Trust Silicon Valley for the first time. The fact that you have a 2% permanent loan product is, frankly, what we hope every single lender could and should do. We want the whole banking industry to follow your lead, and we're really fortunate to get this award in a highly competitive process. So we're super grateful that you've decided to invest in this vision of bringing the largest affordable housing project to the mission in 2 decades. Thank you, Silicon Valley. I'm also proud that we assembled a strong and diverse team to move this project forward. Our architects, David Baker and YA Studios, our general contractors, Guzman and Marinship, and our construction manager, Armando Vasquez, are mostly Black and Latinx owned and led. I'm grateful that at least here in San Francisco, we still value diversity while requiring excellence, and this team is excellent. I also want to really thank the Chinatown CDC project management team led by Joanna Ladd, Angelina Perez, and Dominic Cheng. Joint ventures are complicated. I know that. You're coordinating 2 boards, 2 staffs from 2 different organizations, and it takes more time, more dedication, and intentionality. But ultimately, I believe, and I hope you believe, the juice is worth the squeeze on so many levels. However, I do know that coordinating 2 executive directors who are never in the same city at the same time is like herding cats. And Luis, I just called you a cat. I also just want to take a minute to acknowledge the role that Caroline Fang has played here at Meta. And when Luis said 10 years, I was both amazed at how long it's been, but actually amazed at how short it's been, because the level of progress that Meta has made in the housing field, going from 0 to where they are now in 10 years, is nothing short of a miracle. And Caroline, a lot of that credit goes to you. I know Luis more goes to you, but you know, whatever. I'm just kidding. All right. And lastly, I know Speaker Pelosi couldn't be here because probably a last-minute crisis that she's yet again solving on behalf of the world and the nation. But I just did want to say how grateful we are for her leadership. It seems like every 5 years we find ourselves saying, we've never needed you more than we do right now. And here we are, yet again, 5 years later, saying it again. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Malcolm, and thank you, Luis. You know, it's been 3 projects and 389 units of affordable housing that this friendship and partnership has brought to the city. So thank you both. And it's with great pleasure that I get to introduce and ask Mayor Lurie to please come up and give some remarks.
It's tough to follow you two. I have prepared remarks, but I have to tell you that I'm still getting accustomed to this role where I'm told to come up, I sit in the front row, I give the speech, but it's all of you that have done the work. And I just want to acknowledge on behalf of a grateful city, I want to thank everybody that's here today, because I know it's all of you, and it's inspiring. So thank you. I want to thank the Speaker, Emerita Pelosi. I want to thank Supervisor Fielder. I want to thank my longtime friend and dear friends, Secretary Moss. Thank you. And all of you that have made this possible. I mean, just look around. We are showing the world that we can build housing in this city. When we come together, when community members organize, when government steps up, and when partners from across the city collaborate, progress happens. If we're going to meet our housing goals, and more importantly, if we're going to live up to our values, we need to build more housing, and we need to build it now. And that's exactly what we're doing here at Casa Adelante. This site, as Luis said, will be transformed into 168 units of 100% affordable housing, with 120 units for families, 42 units for families exiting homelessness, and 5 units for HIV-positive households. 1515 South Van Ness is deeply rooted in the community. From the organizations making it happen, the two of you, to the residents who will call it home. It will be family-friendly with a large community room, outdoor play space, and the future home of an incredible Wu Yi Children's Service. It will be sustainable, 100% electric, and built by local workers who are gaining the experience to lead future projects like this one. I mean, I'm supposed to say close your eyes and picture it, but you can just look right there and picture it. A parent walking their child downstairs to preschool, neighbors gathering in a community room for celebration, kids playing outside in a safe, welcoming courtyard, families commuting easily from the nearby BART station to jobs across the city, knowing they can come home to stability. That's what Casa Adelante means. Not just housing, but home. And we've seen this work just down the street, right here, at 1296 Shotwell. We've seen how affordable housing built with community transforms lives, and we cannot stop here. First, we must build housing across San Francisco, making sure our city departments are doing everything possible to turn ideas into building faster. That means listening to communities and supporting organizations like CCDC and Meta. Second, we need to make San Francisco a place where people want to live. That means clean and safe streets, making sure parents can walk their kids to the park without fear. It means outreach teams that move quickly to get people off the streets and into shelter or treatment. I am honored to be here today to start this new chapter for this incredible community. So let's keep it going. Let's build more housing in every neighborhood. And let's not forget, the two of you just talked about it. When San Franciscans come together, we can do anything. So congratulations to all of you in the crowd, to the leaders here. It's a step forward in making real change right here in our neighborhoods. Thank you very much. And we haven't mentioned one friend, Assessor Recorder Joaquin Torres, so I'm giving you a shout out, Assessor.
Thank you very much, Mayor Lurie. Thank you for your leadership here in San Francisco. And we just learned that also Mayor Brown is in attendance. And we know that a lot of this work started way back in his administration. So we do want to acknowledge Mayor Brown and thank you so much for being here and for staying engaged with all of the affordable housing work that's happening here in San Francisco. And with that, I'd like to welcome to the stage Supervisor Jackie Fielder, District 9 Supervisor Jackie Fielder.
Buenas tardes. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for acknowledging that we are on Ramey Tushiloni land. It's an honor to be here with you today to break ground on Casa Adelante at 1515 South Van Ness. I had my campaign office down the street last year, and it is so exciting for the neighborhood that I was knocking on doors in to be able to come back to constituents and say that this place is going to be open for families. And, you know, I want to acknowledge, as Mayor Lurie said, it's really easy to come up here having done no work on this particular project. And so I'm just honored to be here. And I want to acknowledge all of the community that has struggled to get to this moment. You know, we're standing on ground that holds more than just construction potential. It holds a powerful history of resistance, of resilience, and of relentless organizing. The mission is not just a neighborhood. It is a collective of people that fight every single day to protect the community and the most vulnerable. For decades, this community has fought to keep its people here, to resist displacement, and to demand that housing be treated as a human right. Time and time again, when the mission has been threatened by speculation, by unchecked development, and by policies that prioritize profit over people, it's the community that has fought back. And with this amazing project that the community built, it is clear that in this instance, the community not only fought back, but it won. It won the largest affordable housing development in the mission in 2 decades. This project was originally slated for majority market rate development, and the people of this community who are here today organized, made their voices heard, and successfully pressured for a better outcome. One that prioritizes community values, and yes, prioritizes the most vulnerable. Thanks to the tireless efforts of residents, advocates, organizations like Calle 24, MEDA, CCDC, and the leadership of my predecessor, Supervisor Hillary Ronan, the city was able to acquire this land and make today possible. And sadly, we see some of our state and local leaders take away some of the same tools that this community has utilized over the years to fight for more affordable housing, such as deep affordability requirements, community-led planning, and cultural district protections, under the false pretense that communities like the mission are communities that are in the way of housing and say no too often. But this project demonstrates that this couldn't be further from the truth. In fact, this project shows that the mission has and will continue to say yes to housing people who many other neighborhoods around San Francisco and around the state and the country in this moment would not. The community has said yes to partnerships rooted in justice, yes to coalitions grounded in solidarity, yes to housing low-income families, to families exiting homelessness, and yes to people living with HIV. And it couldn't be more clear, when communities of color are trusted and resourced to build what they know their communities truly need, this is the kind of project that is possible. Casa Adelante is not just a building, it's a promise kept. It's a promise kept to elders who march for housing justice, to families who have fought to stay, and to future generations who deserve to grow up in a city that makes room for them. So today we ground ourselves in the legacy of this neighborhood, of the organizing and activism that got us here, and we recommit to building a future where affordable housing is not the exception, it's the standard. Thank you to CCDC, MEDA, Mayor's Office of Community Housing and Development, my predecessor, and everyone who helped bring this vision to life. And thank you to the community for always showing that the fight for affordable housing is not only possible, it is winnable. Thank you.
Muchas gracias. Thank you so much, Supervisor Fielder. And now we'd like to invite Secretary Tamika Moss, who is the Secretary of the Business, Consumer Services, and Housing Agency of the State of California.
Good afternoon. The sun is shining. It is a beautiful day. Doesn't it feel good to celebrate something, y'all? I'm telling you, I am so excited to be here. On behalf of Governor Newsom, on behalf of myself, I am feeling so nostalgic in this moment. I have spent the last 2 decades shoulder to shoulder with Louise, with Malcolm, for the last 20 years working to ensure that our affordable housing goals are met. And it is such an honor and privilege to be here at this groundbreaking. It is realized the partnership, the collaboration, the village that it takes to make projects like these work. That's what we're doing today. I started my career here in the Bay Area at the Tenderloin Neighborhood Development Corporation. And when I think about community development corporations, it is the heartbeat of what makes affordable housing, not just housing, but a home, as the mayor said. Ooh, trying to call you the governor, child. I see that man so much. Anyway. And when you think about the intergenerational dynamics that happen in community, child care, jobs, housing, healthcare, those elements of community are all wrapped into what this project is going to be. And that's one of my favorite things community development. It is people who live in it, and how do we take care of each other and make sure that we have more and more projects like this to talk that the state does in partnership with our local developers. As was mentioned, my Department of Community Housing Development provided more than $39 million from our multi-family housing program to this project. And again, it's so incredible to just be able to contribute to all of the incredible work that this community does every single day. So I'm gonna get out of the way and let the rest of the folks talk. But thank you on behalf of the governor, on behalf of the state of California. It's good to be back home, y'all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Secretary Ma. So at this moment, we're going to take a small break for photos. So all of our speakers, if we can head over to the right, we're going to take a bit of a photo up. Now, there's going to be opportunities to take photo later in the program as well. And in the meantime, I'd like to welcome to the stage Francisco Herrera. He's the co-director of Nuevo Sol de Labor and Domestic Worker Center, one of the future tenants of Casa Adelante at 1515 South Van Ness. Nuevo Sol boasts the local economy by providing casual labor opportunities and protecting the rights of low-income workers, who in turn beautify San Francisco homes. And today he's accompanied by Gerardo Martinez, composer with the Nuevo Sol group. Thank you.
Pues buenas tardes, viva Casa Adelante. Can you say viva Casa Adelante? Eso. Viva Casa Adelante. Eso mero. All right. Gracias, Salvador. I wanna. People, there will be more speakers later, and the music is not a talk chit chat break. It's we want to introduce to you. We are Nuevo Sol Day Labor Domestic Worker Center. Our house is going to be right over there where the caterpillar, the orange caterpillar is. And we have today with us one of our composers, Gerardo Martinez. With a song that he wrote for today. Let's give him a big round of applause. Gerardo Martinez, Nuevo Sol Day Labor Domestic Worker Center.
Ayer Francisco Herrera y yo para esta ocasión, para esta reinauguración, a ver qué les parece.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Torres. Good to see you.
How can we good? Keep a shoulder to. All right.
Pido permiso para cantar esta canción. Hoy que es abril 16.
Yeah, Jackie.
Esta gran inauguración la cantó con emoción.